Matt, there is cybersecurity and there is compliance. And it seems like the two groups operate often in silos, and they're often using similar tools to achieve the same objective. Why is there so much separation when the two should be as commingled, I think, as possible?
Security is what I do for myself or for my organization to secure the organization. Compliance is what I have to do for someone else or some external framework, some requirement I have to meet.
That is a really good split of definition. I actually never heard anyone say it like that. That is pretty clear.
Exactly. I just learned that myself.
It seems that your audience is two very different audiences in the two cases, yes?
Totally. I mean, one is you and one is somebody else. And then on top of that, what kind of muddies the water is one of those external parties is oftentimes your auditor. And they're auditing you to a framework that you chose and controls that you defined, right? So you're having to comply with something from a third party, but you actually materially, quote, wrote the test. But still, there's a difference, right? Because you can do security without writing a really hard test for yourself, or in some cases, you can't. In some cases, your organization won't do security unless someone is forcing you to comply. And this is where different organizations will use compliance differently to drive their security program.
The thing with compliance risk is it's a very clear known risk as opposed to cybersecurity, which is an unknown risk. Do the two sides see that and do they sort of appreciate that, I guess?
Do they understand that? Maybe. Sometimes, oftentimes security professionals are somewhat siloed in this security function. However, there's enterprise risk, right? And so there's a risk that you won't generate enough new business to pay for your security program. Your compliance artifact, your ISO certification, is a business deliverable that your sales team needs to sell. You can separate that from security, but you may also be responsible for managing that risk. So it relates to security, but it's not the way we traditionally think about security, where we're more focused typically on that confidentiality risk to our environment.
Well, guess what? This Friday, we're going to talk all about this: hacking, compliance versus security. I think our goal is to drop that versus out as much as possible so it disappears, because we know there's kind of a little bit of a Montague Capulet jets versus sharks issue going on between the two groups. But we're going to address it, hopefully figure out how we can ameliorate the relationship between the two sides and how they can kind of benefit from each other. It's all happening this Friday. That's February 16th, 2024. Here's all the information you need to know.